We come in engaging.
We are part of Juffawa. Juffawa is the hot light in the darkness. All else is unfulfilled void. We are the Mycon. Juffawa fills in my fibers, and I grow turgid. Violent action ensues.
Dodo, idiot, dodo, idiot, dodo, dummy, win, stupid. Idiot, fool, loser, idiot, dummy, moron. Fool, idiot, stupid, moron. Win, dummy, idiot, twit. Moron, dummy, worm, twit, loser, idiot, moron, loser, twit, worm, moron, baby. Stupid, loser. Stupid, baby, idiot, worm, win. Stupid, dummy, stupid, loser, worm, twit, dummy, baby. Win, worm, twit, baby, loser, dodo, dummy, baby.
We are the Mycon. A single spore lands, finds nourishment in decay, and soon attains maturity. In turn, it exhales a cloud of new life, 1,000 spores. Each lands, finds nourishment in decay. So progresses Juffawa. Juffawa fills in my fibers, and I grow turgid. Violent action ensues.
Win, fool, jerk, moron, dummy, loser, worm, jerk, loser, stupid, worm, stupid, jerk, moron, dummy, idiot, loser, fool, worm, idiot, fool, twit, idiot.
Once again, we meet to exchange valuable tangibles. Isn't this fun? Now, what can we do for you today? It has been a pleasure dealing with you, Captain.
What? A human in a precursor service vehicle? How did you escape the slave shield, human? Or are you a rogue? We will not kill your entire crew. Only those responsible for decision-making. Specifically, you, Captain, and your officers. You have made the incorrect choice, and now you must suffer the consequences of your mistake.
Dodo. Fool, baby, dumb, stupid, wimp. Baby, stupid, worm, wimp, fool, jerk, idiot, stupid, wimp, worm, dummy, loser, wimp, jerk, moron, jerk, loser, wimp, wimp. Fool, baby. Dummy, wimp, idiot, quit, stupid, moron, quit, idiot, dummy, wimp, moron, baby, loser. Stupid, fool, loser, fool, dodo, idiot, dummy, baby, loser, dummy, jerk, baby.
Attention, unidentified space vessel. Be warned. This slave world and its inhabitants belong to the Ur-Quan. I am Starbase Commander Talana of the slave planet Gaia. Your ship is not responding to standard hierarchy identification sequences. You are therefore classed as independent. And what? Is my monitor display correct? Is that a human commanding that vessel? Who are you? So am I, Captain. So am I. Earthlings are so earthy. But you haven't answered my question fully. Why are you here? Where are you from? Has the slave shield been lifted from Earth? Are the Ur-Quan finally defeated? Simply put, Captain, what do you want from us? Look, friend, I appreciate your offer, but we don't want your help. Why? I'll tell you why. Because we're not going to do anything to antagonize the Ur-Quan. That's why. We may not like slavery, but it's a damn sight better than our alternatives. Below us, we have a beautiful world. Maybe it's not Syra, but at least it's a home. That's a lot more than we ever had before the war, before the Ur-Quan became our masters. When the Ur-Quan conquered us over 20 years ago, I was only a young girl living in Habitat 31. My older sister Diani was a starship officer in the Space Patrol. She was part of the final defense at Raynet. She didn't make it back. When the Ur-Quan caught us in open space, we all thought we were going to die. But then, instead of killing us, the Ur-Quan offered us a choice. We could join the ranks of their combat thralls, or we could be slave-shielded in our homeworld. Like the people of Earth, we chose peace. We became fallow slaves. When the Ur-Quan told us to return to our homeworld, we explained that we had none. Ur-Quan Master 9 explained that they had encountered this situation before, and if we would provide them with a list of our requirements, they would use their extensive astronomical data stores to find a planet for us. So we told them about Syra, about the color of its sky, about the abundant life forms, about the fertility of the soil and seas. Less than an hour later, we received a terse message from Master 9. We were to proceed to these coordinates and disembark. This was to be our new home. But our new world, Gaia, was everything we described. We'd been searching for a home planet for 75 years, and in the end, it was our enemies who gave one to us. I grew up on a small island off the main continent, and like all of my people, we lived each day under the sick, red glow of the slave shield. When the Ur-Quan arrived 7 years ago to refurbish and recruit the Starbase, I was selected as the new commander. Our species are almost identical, almost too close a match to be just a coincidence. Our bodies are very similar, Captain. Except for certain parts. Our cultural development is also mostly parallel. Like the Earthlings, we evolved a society from primitive tribes whose main function were to protect themselves from the large reptiles native to our old world. The main difference between our two sets of cultures, the split in the paths of our development, occurred in what would have been your prehistory, say 5000 BCE. In your world, the agricultural communities were conquered by the more primitive, but also more aggressive migratory herding peoples. This led to a particular kind of sexual and political dominance structure which pervaded almost all of your Earth cultures until the early 21st century. On Syra, our only primitive migratory tribes were confined to our mountainous regions. Their herd beasts, the Weimar, did not do well in the agricultural basins and plains. The two cultures were isolated until much later, when the technological superiority of the farmers curtailed any major conflict. It was our paradise, Captain, our Eden. Earth is the only world we know of whose variety and richness of life even comes close to Syra. Again, like so many other things about our two species, our worlds were very much the same. At least before you began encasing yours in concrete and plastic. Syra's gravity was a bit lighter than Earth's, and its day was 50% longer. Our diurnal cycle is therefore different from yours. We spend 20 hours awake, followed by 10 hours horizontal. This subject is very difficult for us, Captain, but I will try to recount those sad days. Like your solar system, ours had a large population of comets and asteroids. Large meteor impacts, though rare, were not unheard of on our planet. So it was not a total shock when an asteroid penetrated our atmosphere and hit the surface. What was odd was that unlike most other meteors, this one was not pulverized on impact. It penetrated the crust, and indeed went all the way through to the mantle, causing a supervolcano. The earthquakes caused by the impact were severe. The magma pumped out of the caldera wreaked significant damage on the nearby terrain, but within a few weeks it had cooled, forming a solid rock bandage over the wound. Within a few months, we had cleaned up the mess. The caldera was calming down nicely, and things were pretty much back to normal. Then, just over a year after the impact, all hell broke loose on the surface of Syra. Huge calderas were opening all over, not just around the meteor impact, but everywhere. The scope of the disaster is impossible to imagine. Entire cities sliding into oceans of molten lava, kilometer-wide sections of land pulverized by a cataclysmic explosion, and clouds of poison gas and superheated steam created a death shroud around Syra. Yes, I think so. Aren't they part of the Mycon religion somehow? We have recordings of Mycon hyperwave transmissions from the war. Pretty weird stuff. The Mycons just kind of rambled, never making much sense. They talked a lot about deep children and spears of light, but we couldn't ever understand what they were talking about. What? What did you say? Human, you had better not be joking. Syra is not a subject for Earth humor. Now what do you mean, shattered planet crusts? How? That is what happened to Syra, yes, but we presumed it was a natural cataclysm, a meteor. Do you have proof that it was something else? These deep children? Let me see this proof, Captain. Great guys! These fragments, they are identical to the debris we found near the punctures on Syra. We never guessed that the fragments might be organic. To have survived re-entry, nothing organic would remain. Unless it was genetically constructed for this purpose. And only the Mycons possess this capability. The Mycons will pay dearly for their crimes. We will not sit here and do nothing while the Mycon fiends are free to roam the galaxy, perpetrating their evil. You wanted our cooperation in fighting the Ur-Quan. You've got it. Provided you first help us seek our revenge against the Mycon race. Help us to destroy them. You will receive more gratitude than you know what to do with, Captain. Our first step is to get some mobility. We have some fine starship officers aboard, and they're all eager to go after the Mycons. But without our penetrator starships, we're totally ineffectual. So our first step has to be recovering our Space Patrol combat fleet. We know that the Ur-Quan didn't destroy them. They never waste anything. But we believe they have sealed them in some kind of deep vault in the surface of an alien planet. No, that's your job. But maybe we have some clues to help you find them. The starship officers who flew the penetrators to the vault did so with total sensor blackout. The only thing they could use for navigation was the presence of the dreadnought fleet surrounding them. When they arrived at their destination and lowered their ships into the immense vault, they were transported to the dreadnoughts and only caught a split-second glimpse of the outside world. As far as they could tell, the sun was either red or orange. Based on their trip time calculations, the farthest they could have traveled is about 200 hyperspace distance units. Captain, we've assembled a small team of our most skilled officers. We will send them to your ship on board their own small shuttle. We feel that in the interest of efficiency, we keep our officers away from your crew, at least until the mission is over. As soon as you arrive at the vault, our people will take over, figure out a way to open the vault, and bring our penetrators back here. Good luck, brave Earthling. When your mission is successful, maybe then we can get to know each other better.